Hello everyone, welcome to Just in Case. My name is Esti, and with Tommy and my brother's notes, we are ranking all the cards that are worth opening when Rise of the Floodborn finally hits the shelves. We have customized the tier list we're using to match the theme of Lorcana a bit more. At the top, we have the best of that color. Every time you're building the deck, you have to at least consider using those cards. Or, in other words, the bare necessities. Just a little bit below, we have cards that are undoubtedly strong, but might need a specific deck to bring out the best of them. In other words, phenomenal cosmic powers. Itty bitty living space. Tier 3 cards may be a bit behind these two categories, but they are still good. Under them are cards that are just seemingly below the usual stat lines for that cost, in the category called Under the Sea. And at the bottom, we put cards that just don't really hit our excitement threshold, or so to say, don't care.
The first card in Ruby is Baloo, an inkable cost-free vanilla for free, quest for 1.
Yeah, I think you can just quickly move on.
The second card is also vanilla, Boom, it's an inkable cost 2, 2 free, quest for 1. The third card is also vanilla. It's Card Soldiers, it's inkable cost 5, 5, 5, and quest for 2.
We are putting this one under the sea because at least this quest for 2 and it has quite good stat lines for a 5 cost.
First interesting Ruby card is Donald Duck. But again, it's an inkable cost 5, evasive, and with the unique ability, this character gets +1 lore count for each 1 damage on him.
Yeah, Donald is definitely one of the most interesting cards revealed this set, with very unique ability that allows him to potentially quest for up to 5 lore, making him as strong as Belle or Alice this set. He might need some other cards to help him out where you can damage your own characters, but for now we can see huge potential for him and an immediate space for him in most Ruby decks.
Next up is Felicia. It's an inkable cost 1, free 1, reckless card.
This is a pretty good card for a common. We're putting it into Still Good. It might replace Gaston in those control decks where you want to have a 2-drop, or in Felicia's case, you can have this as a 1-drop that can deal with Simba, Protective Cub, or early threats. And with 3 attacks, it can do that, so good card.
This is Fidget, an inkable cost 3, free 2, quest for 1, evasive.
As with the Emerald cards, evasive is not yet found its place in the meta realm, so we're giving this as Under the Sea because we're not sure for its full potential. Maybe next set we will see full decks using only evasive with items and actions cards that utilize evasives and get you extras if you have evasive cards, but maybe right now we're just not there yet, so for now this is just Under the Sea for us.
Honest John, not that honest. It's a non-inkable cost 3. Its ability is Easy Street. Whenever you play a Floodborn character, each opponent loses 1 lore.
The card seemingly has a lot of potential. Right now we only have 36 Floodborns, so we're not sure it's quite there yet, and that is the main reason we're putting it to Still Good. In the future, this card might be the center of decks that have a huge amount of Floodborns in it, but right now we're just, again, not there yet.
Lady Tremaine, Imperious Queen, it's a non-inkable cost 6, shift 4. Its ability is Power to Rule at Last. When you play this character, each opponent chooses and banishes one of their characters.
Okay, this again, like Donald, is one of the most interesting cards. Definitely a top tier card with the ability making her extremely strong. So when you play this character, you may make your opponent choose a card to banish, and that wording goes around board. It has decent stat lines as well. And as a fun fact, it has the 12th rule of villainy, which we are kind of collecting as a way of understanding what's the background story of Lorcana. We already have 5 rules of villainy, and this adds to that. The fact that she shifts for 4 is also a huge plus in her favor, with the fact that the shift target is also a decent card.
Lady Tremaine is a non-inkable cost 2 with ability. When you play this character, each opponent with more lore than you loses 1 lore.
This character goes to Still Good because the ability is the same, or maybe a little bit worse than what Aladdin has, the 3-drop inkable Aladdin. Going for Still Good because we have the shift character, that's amazing. And the fact that she's uninkable makes it a big question if you want to include this or not in your deck. Those spots are precious.
The next card is another vanilla DBA. It's an inkable cost 7, 7, 7, quest for 2.
So comparing it to the 8-drop Inkable Maui in Steel, seemingly doesn't get play at all. I'm not sure if this one will, because when you are at 7, you're reaching the point where you might want to just wait until you can play Mickey, BLT Mickey, for 8 and 4/4 lore, or, include maybe Maleficent. So we're putting him under the sea for right now.
We have 3 Minnie Mouses in Ruby. The first one is the Stylish Surfer. It's an inkable cost 3 evasive.
For this, I really love the art. She looks so cool, and with the seagulls in the background, it's giving me 9089 vibes. But other than that, no, not a lot of things going for her. She's under the sea.
The second Minnie Mouse is the Wide-Eyed Diver. It's an inkable cost 4, shift 2, evasive, and its unique ability is whenever you play a second action in a turn, this character gets +2 Lorcana this turn.
So this is one of the interesting ones here as well. We're putting her as a phenomenal cosmic power with itty bitty living space. And the reason for that is that she might be key for a deck that has a lot of actions, and we want to find that. So we're going to try out a bunch of variations for her and with Mickey and a lot of actions.
The last Minnie Mouse is zipping around. It's an inkable cost 2, free 2, fast for 1.
She's very basic. We don't care.
This one is Mother Gothel. It's an inkable cost 2, unique abilities. This character enters play with 3 damage.
This card is more of a, wow, this is so flavorful, than, wow, this is a strong card. The fact that she doesn't have the healing powers of Rapunzel anymore, she's damaged, is cute, and we might have some specific decks she might fit in, because this set seems to have cards where you want your characters to have damage, you have cards that do damage to your own characters, so she might be interesting, but we might not see her full potential this set. We will try to do those decks, so she's, in our eyes, still a good card, but I think what's really going for her is the flavor.
Mulan is an uninkable cost 4 with Rush.
She is our typical Rush character, like Rafiki, similar stat lines, and similar to Zeus without the challenger. She's still good. We don't think she's anything special. Maybe if she has a Floodborn coming, then that might change.
Namari is an uninkable cost 4 with unique ability. When this character is exerted, banish this character and then banish chosen character.
Okay, we're putting her to phenomenal cosmic powers, itty bitty living space. And the only reason for that is because she's uninkable. Otherwise, she might be bare necessity. This is just a card that has hard removal on her, which is great, and costs less than Dragonfire. Although, for her to activate, you have to have this character for at least one turn in play. So it's just for the removal. It's good. It has no special stat lines other than that, so makes her tier 2 for us.
Queen of Hearts is an inkable cost 2 Rush character.
So she has Rush going for her, but she's not even strong enough to take Simba. That makes her kind of under the sea. Because I think I would play Felicia over her, and Felicia is still good, so she's going under.
We have another Queen of Hearts. This one is an inkable cost 5, shift 2, with unique ability. Whenever one of your characters challenges another character, you may draw a card.
Okay, this card is amazing. We don't have a lot of card draws for Ruby, and this is one of those cards that let you draw a card. So we think she is phenomenal. She might not be an auto-include, but she's very close to being an auto-include. We're excited about this new type of deck emerging from Ruby that centers Shere Khan and just a lot of attacking, and she facilitates that very well with the extra card draw. So far, we have nothing against her. The ability of shifting is also great, while we are not fan of the target.
Retigan is an uninkable cost 5. When you play this character, exert chosen opposing character with 3 power or less. Choose one of your characters and ready them. They can't quest for the rest of this turn.
He seems like he has a specific deck going for him. We're putting him, because of that, to tier 2 and hoping to find a deck that really makes him pop. Don't think he's an auto-include because he's uninkable. I have a lot of those in Ruby already. For now, he's a tier 2 and we're looking forward to seeing what he's capable of.
Memoria, it's an inkable cost 3. During your turn, whenever this character banishes another character in a challenge, you may ready this character. She can't quest for the rest of this turn.
The ability is interesting, however, it's just 2 strength. We don't really see a lot of interesting plays with her. She might fit into that sheer Khan deck, so for that we're putting her under the sea with skepticism, to be honest.
We have another rare. It's an Inkable cost 6, shift 4. Whenever this character challenges a damaged character, she takes no damage from the challenge.
Okay, this one is again fun. She has enough strength to be useful in attacking for a 6 cost, so we like that aspect. The fact that the ability to fully function needs a damage character is a bit icky, so that's why she's not quite top tier level. For us, she's just phenomenal in its own living space, and we will see how many decks are those.
The last rare card of this set is an Inkable cost 4, 5/3, quest for 1.
She's the Raya on the box, which is a bit strange as she's a vanilla and her stat lines for us is a bit under the sea.
Skull, the Vicious Cheater. It's an uninkable cost 7 rush character. During your turn, whenever this character banishes another character in a challenge, you may ready this character. You can't quest for the rest of this turn.
Some people think that this card might not be as good as we think, but for us, he's bare necessity. And this is not just because we are huge fans of The Lion King and Scar is our favorite villain, but his 6 strength is strong enough to kill almost anyone, with a few notable exceptions such as Maleficent, Monstrous Dragon, and Maui, but it's decent. And the fact that he can ready and do this again is the core element of Ruby with his attack strategy. So we have already the Queen, who makes you draw when you challenge characters, and we will have Shere Khan, who gets the lore for it, and not to mention the fact that you can just do this whole thing the turn you play him because he has rush. I think we have to see this in play, but theoretically, he's a very good card.
Shere Khan is an Inkable cost 3. Whenever one of your characters challenges another character, gain 1.
And here we have the card I was mentioning. He's phenomenal. He might not fit all decks, but a deck that's mainly focused on these powers in Ruby could have huge potential. And I think this card also makes this card that we just discussed better, because he's not only taking care of all the threats that the opponent has, but he's also getting you lore, potentially very strong. And it also gives extra lore ability for all those characters that have rush, like Maui, the 5-cost Maui in Ruby. One of the decks I'm most looking forward to try, because this is very different from anything we have seen in set 1.
Tigger is an Inkable cost 3. Whenever you play an action, this character gets +2 power this turn.
For us, he's under the sea, with the slight mention that action-based deck might make him sea play for being a 5/3 is quite strong for a 3-drop. If that really pops, he might be still good.
Tuk Tuk is an uninkable cost 4 reckless card with 4/5.
It doesn't really hit the level for a rare card for us, so for now it's under the sea, and it might even go down.
And now moving on to actions and songs. Go the Distance is an Inkable cost 2 song. Ready chosen damage character of yours. They can't quest for the rest of this turn. Draw a card.
For us, this action is still good, which is because in the first set, LeFou and Philip's shield was very useful in being able to ready characters. The fact that it needs damage characters makes it significantly worse. However, because we see this cohesion between this set's Ruby and the fact that they want damage and they attack a lot, so they get damage as well, we will rank higher than what we would do if it would just be in set 1. And the fact that it draws a card also goes for it. So for now, it's pretty good.
Teeth and Ambitions is an Inkable cost 2 song. Deal 2 damage to chosen character of yours to deal 2 damage to another chosen character.
We were a bit divided on this card, ranging from tier 2 to tier 4. The fact that, again, this is an overarching theme. You can damage your own characters and you can benefit from this. So this card is a good card. And how good, we have to see, because this whole idea of damaging your own characters is new to this set, and we just have to wait and see. It has a lot of synergies within the color. We can see a lot of synergies with Amber and maybe with Sapphire, where you can heal your own characters. This we just have to see.
The most diabolical scheme is an uninkable cost-free song. Banish chosen villain of yours to banish chosen character.
This card is definitely lives in an itty bitty space where this works. You need a lot of villains. In the first set, you didn't have enough to make a full deck. With this one included, you might have, but we're not sure if you have a lot of small villains that you're happy to sacrifice just to take out another one. However, because you can just banish a character, it's really strong. We will have to see how many decks can utilize this.
What did you call me? Is uninkable cost 1 action. Chosen damage character gets +3 strength this turn.
For this one, we just don't know and don't really care. The Emerald version of this character, Vicious Betrayal, that doesn't require you to have a damage character, doesn't see a lot of play. So we just don't see this one having a lot of play. Yeah, therefore, the don't know, don't care verdict.
You Can Fly is an inkable cost 2 song. Chosen character gains evasive until the start of your next turn.
Decided that this card might be still good. While we don't appreciate the power of evasive cards yet, the fact that you can use this as a small action to boost your action theme decks and also to maybe deal with a few annoying evasives your opponent might have seems very useful. So this card might see play. There are a lot of fun ideas how if you can play this on turn 2, so if your opponent has Simba, you can just make Simba evasive, and then your non-evasive characters can't challenge him, so you can just take out Lilo or the character it was supposed to guard. So there are a few fun ideas how you might utilize this card, and that is the reason we put it to middle tier.
Dinner Bell is an uninkable cost 4 item. Exert it for 2 ink to draw cards equal to the damage on chosen character of yours, then banish them.
Again, a controversial card, but we have settled on Phenomenal Cosmic Powers, Itty Bitty Living Space, because we have a lot of cards. Again, these are all new mechanisms and new things we're seeing evolving here, and this is one of those cards where if you have gathered a lot of damage and that character would just be taken out, then you might want to sacrifice that. Like, for example, Donald, if you have gathered the 4 damage on him already, and you quest with him, but it would be taken out next turn and you can't ready him, well then at least you get 4 card draws out of it. We are predicting that this card has a very special place in all those decks that are utilizing this own damage mechanism that are evolving here.
Peter Pan's Dagger is an uninkable cost 2 item. Your characters with evasive get +1 strength.
As you can see, we're not big fans of evasive, so this was a unanimous don't know, don't care. And we're hoping this set or the next set or some set in the future changes our minds about evasive, but so far, this card is more interesting for the lore one.
And the last Ruby card is Sword in the Stone. It's an uninkable cost 1 item. You can exert it for 2 ink, and then chosen character gets +1 strength this turn for each 1 damage on.
For this, we put it to Under the Sea. Again, this might function well in decks that want a lot of damage, and then it can make a card very strong, but we're just not excited for this, and probably wouldn't be overjoyed for pulling this. I think that concludes this color. Thanks for sticking around, and as you can see, this ruby part of this set really changes up a lot of things that we haven't seen before and a lot of ideas we couldn't try before, and we're really looking forward to that. Give us some ideas and tell us what you would change in our ranking. See you in the next one, and happy loring everyone!